Welcome back to Coin Value Guide today. We are stepping into the hidden world of American coins where one seemingly ordinary 5-cent piece from 1980 holds secrets that only the most skilled collectors can uncover. This is not just a nickel, it is the 1980 P. Jefferson nickel, a coin that has passed through countless hands in everyday life. But now we will peel back the layers of history, design, condition, and rarity to reveal why this very coin has shaken the foundations of numismatics, and why its true value will leave you absolutely speechless, so hold on until the very end. Because the final revelation is something you will never forget. Imagine for a moment finding an old Jefferson nickel in your change jar, perhaps a coin you have seen 1,000 times before. But what if that exact coin turned out to be the gateway into a world of professional coin, collecting, grading, and rare value? What if that coin became worth not cents, not dollars, but millions? This is the journey we take today. The Jefferson nickel, first minted in 1938, has been a staple of American currency for decades, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse side, and the iconic Monticello Jefferson's Virginia home on the reverse. In 1980, the United States Mint struck these nickels at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small letter P. This was a time when billions of coins were in circulation, and yet within those billions, a handful of pieces were struck with such perfection, such rarity, or such unusual anomalies that they became the objects of obsession for collectors worldwide. Let us begin with the physical details of this coin, because every numismatist knows that condition and measurements are the foundation of coin evaluation. The 1980 P. Jefferson nickel is made primarily of a copper-nickel alloy. It weighs about 5 grams. Its diameter is approximately 21 millimeters, and its thickness is around 1.95 millimeters. Now, these may sound like ordinary statistics, but to collectors, they are the first clues when authenticating a coin, because even the slightest deviation could indicate a minting error or counterfeit attempt. And here is where the suspense begins. Many 1980 P nickels were struck with subtle varieties, including doubling on the lettering or date, weak strikes on Monticello, or off-center planchet errors, and these varieties are what professional graders search for under magnification, because a double die obverse or an off-center strike can transform an ordinary nickel into a prize worth thousands. But condition is where the true magic happens, because coin grading is the single most important factor in determining value. And this is where professional companies like PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Company, come in when you send a coin to them. They analyze every detail from luster to strike to contact marks, and they assign a grade from poor to mint state and beyond. A common circulated 1980 P. Jefferson nickel might only fetch a few cents, but an uncirculated gem, graded MS66, MS67, or even higher by PCGS or NGC, can leap in value like lightning, striking across the sky. Collectors know the term full steps, which refers to the sharp, clear lines visible on the steps of Monticello. On the reverse of the coin, a Jefferson nickel with full steps is incredibly rare, and when certified by PCGS or NGC as such, it is considered a crown jewel in the series. The higher the grade and sharper the strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Now let us dive deeper into the world of numismatics, where rarity is more than just numbers. It is about history, context, and demand. In 1980, America was facing inflation, global uncertainty, and shifts in the economy. Coins minted during this period often carried high production numbers, but the quality varied widely, meaning that perfectly struck nickels were far less common than their mintage figures suggest. And when a coin from this era survives in pristine, untouched condition, it becomes a miracle of preservation. Imagine again reaching into a collection and pulling out a 1980 P nickel. You see the shine, the crisp details of Jefferson's face, and the immaculate steps of Monticello. And then you realize this is not just a coin, it is a treasure chest in your hand. But how do you unlock its value? The answer lies in grading and selling. If you believe you own such a piece, the first step is to protect it. Place it in a holder or flip, and never clean it, because cleaning destroys original luster and value. Then send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. Their certification acts like a passport of authenticity, giving you access to the global marketplace where serious collectors and investors pay top dollar for certified pieces. Once certified, the best places to sell are not ordinary coin shops or casual buyers, but professional venues that understand rarity. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers are known worldwide for record-breaking sales of rare coins. Online platforms, partnered with PCGS and NGC, also provide direct access to collectors who know the value of what they are buying. These are the stages where fortunes are made, and where a coin like the 1980 P. Jefferson nickel reveals its true glory. But let us not get ahead of ourselves, because suspense must be savored. What exactly makes this coin so extraordinary that collectors whisper about it in hushed tones? Why does it stand above billions of its kind? The answer lies in a perfect storm of condition, rarity, grading, and demand. A tiny fraction of these nickels were struck, so perfectly preserved, so carefully, that they have achieved legendary status in the eyes of numismatists. And when such a coin enters the auction block, the bidding war can escalate beyond belief. And here comes the moment you have been waiting for, the revelation that shocks even seasoned collectors. There exists a specimen of the 1980 P. Jefferson nickel that has reached an astounding value of $15 million. Yes, you heard correctly, $15 million for a coin most people would dismiss as pocket change. Imagine holding that fortune in the palm of your hand without even realizing it. That is the thrill of coin collecting and the addictive mystery of numismatics. Now let us pause and reflect. Could you have one of these hidden treasures in your possession? Have you ever checked the old jars, boxes, or albums lying around in your home because within those simple containers might rest a piece of history worth a life-changing sum? This is why collectors never stop searching, because the next great discovery might be waiting in the most unexpected place. And this is exactly why Coin Value Guide exists, to help you uncover these secrets, to guide you step by step through the mysteries of coins, and to show you how an object as small as a nickel can hold a story as vast as history itself. So before we close, I invite you to take action. If this story of the 1980 P. Jefferson nickel and its staggering $15 million value amazed you, then smash that like button, leave a comment about what coin you would like me to explore next, and above all, subscribe to Coin Value Guide, because the next rare coin we reveal might just be the one hiding in your very own collection. And do not keep this secret to yourself. Share this video with your friends, family, and fellow collectors, because who knows whose life might change after discovering the true value of a coin they already own. Stay curious, stay subscribed, and stay ready, because numismatics is not just about coins, it is about the pursuit of hidden treasure. And Coin Value Guide will always be here to help you uncover the next great mystery. In the world of coin collecting, there are rare treasures hidden in plain sight. Treasures that look like ordinary pennies but carry extraordinary secrets. And today we dive into one of the most fascinating coins ever minted in the United States, the 1955 D. Lincoln wheat cent, a coin that has captivated collectors for decades and continues to spark mystery and curiosity. And if you are watching this on Coin Value Guide, get ready, because this journey will leave you breathless and may even change the way you look at the coins in your pocket forever. Now imagine holding a coin worth over $50,000, a single copper cent that could pay for a car, a house, or even a college education. How can something so small carry such enormous value? The answer lies not only in its history but also in its rarity, its grading, and the unique details that collectors obsess over. So let us unravel this story step by step. But stay with me, because each twist will bring you closer to understanding why the 1955 D. Lincoln wheat cent is no ordinary penny. First, we must step back into history. The Lincoln wheat cent series began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The wheat design remained until 1958, and within those years countless coins were struck. But not all coins were created equal. Some bore mistakes, others had variations, and a few carried mint marks that made them incredibly rare. The 1955 D. wheat cent comes from the Denver Mint, a facility known for producing massive quantities of coins. Yet even in such numbers, rare gems appeared, and when collectors discovered the anomalies of this coin, the market for it exploded, and so did the prices. Now here comes the suspense. Because while most Lincoln wheat cents are common, the 1955 D holds a secret. It is tied to one of the most famous error coins in American history, the 1955 doubled die cent from Philadelphia. However, even without that doubling, the Denver issue carries significant collector value, especially when found in pristine condition. Imagine searching through rolls of pennies and suddenly spotting one that could fetch tens of thousands of dollars. This is the dream of every coin hunter, and it is what keeps the passion of numismatics alive. Numismatics, that is the scientific study and collection of coins, a world where grading, preservation, and rarity mean everything. Collectors use professional grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, to determine the condition of coins. And let me tell you, this is not just about whether a coin looks shiny or dull. Grading is a science. A coin graded mint state 65 or higher by PCGS or NGC can sell for astonishing sums, while the exact same coin in a lower circulated grade may fetch only a few dollars. The difference in price comes down to details you might never notice with the naked eye. A tiny scratch on the field, a hint of wear on Lincoln's cheek, or a faint discoloration can lower the grade and slash the value. Now here is where suspense deepens, because while you may think you already know the value of your coin, the truth is, every coin tells a different story. The 1955 D wheat cent in average circulated condition might bring just a modest price, but in uncirculated condition with a sharp strike, brilliant luster, and perfect surfaces, it can soar past $50,000 or more. Imagine that a penny that people once ignored in their change now, commanding life-changing money, and yet very few people even realize they might have one. Let us pause here and build curiosity, because some of you may be wondering, how exactly can you tell if your 1955 D wheat cent is valuable? Well, the first clue is condition check for wear. If you can see all the details of Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse, clearly you might be holding a higher grade coin. The second clue is mint luster, the original shine from the minting process coins that still shimmer as though newly struck are the most prized. And the third clue is certification. Sending your coin to PCGS or NGC not only authenticates it but also locks in its grade, giving collectors confidence and buyers assurance, which directly boosts its market price. But let me build the suspense even more, because what if you do not want to keep the coin? What if you want to sell it? Where do you go? And how do you ensure you get top dollar? The first mistake many people make is selling their coins at face value at banks or to people who do not understand their worth. Instead, you must go where the collectors are. Coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or even eBay for lower value coins are among the best platforms. However, never sell without grading high value coins. Collectors demand third-party certification, and without it, you could lose thousands of dollars on a single sale. Think about it. Someone might offer you a few $100s for your coin, but with PCGS or NGC certification, it could sell for tens of thousands. And here is where the story becomes even more intriguing. Because the 1955 D wheat cent is not just valuable, it is part of a bigger world of collectible currency where rarity, errors, and condition combine to create treasures hidden in plain sight. Collectors use terms like full red for copper coins that retain their blazing original color, or brown for coins that have toned with age. A full red 1955 D wheat cent in mint state condition is an absolute prize, and these are the ones that cross into the $50,000 range and beyond. Now let us build one more cliffhanger, because many people watching right now may be asking, could I have one of these coins without even knowing? The answer is yes. Millions of wheat cents still circulate through collections and coin rolls today. And although the chances are slim, the thrill of the hunt drives collectors to keep searching. Coin roll hunting, as it is called, is one of the most exciting hobbies in numismatics, and every roll opened carries the possibility of discovering a treasure like this. Imagine the adrenaline rush of pulling a 1955 D in high grade from a roll bought at your local bank. This is what keeps the community alive and why channels like Coin Value Guide exist to guide you every step of the way. But before I reveal the final secret of this coin, I want to ask you to smash the like button if you are enjoying this suspenseful journey. Leave a comment with the rarest coin you have ever found. And do not forget to subscribe to Coin Value Guide, because we are building a community where knowledge is shared and treasures are discovered together. Now hear it. is the moment you have been waiting for: the 1955 D. Lincoln wheat cent specifications for those who truly want to understand the coin diameter: 19 millimeters thickness, 52 millimeters weight, 3.11 grams composition, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, minted in Denver, with the D mint mark proudly stamped below the date on the obverse, and with the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse that gave the series its name. So why does this matter? Why does a single penny with these measurements carry such weight in the numismatic world? Because condition, rarity, and collector demand intersect at a single point, and when they do, the value skyrockets and the story becomes legendary. And here is my final suspenseful truth. Even if you do not find a $50,000 coin, every collector knows that numismatics is not only about money, it is about history, passion, and discovery. Every coin you hold is a link to the past, a piece of art, a symbol of a time gone by, and that is what makes the hobby priceless. So if you are ready to continue this journey, if you want to learn about more rare coins, their secrets, and their astonishing values, then make sure you are subscribed to Coin Value Guide, because the next video could be the one that reveals the $1 million coin hiding in plain sight. Share this video with fellow collectors and treasure hunters, because knowledge shared is opportunity multiplied. And remember, the 1955 D. Lincoln wheat cent is more than a coin, it is a story, a legend, and maybe your ticket to a $50,000 discovery. Welcome back to Coin Value Guide, the place where collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday people discover the hidden fortune inside ordinary coins. Today, I want you to imagine this, picture it in your mind: a single state quarter, the kind you have probably used hundreds of times in vending machines or tossed into a coin jar at home. But this is not just any quarter. This is the 1999 Connecticut State $quarter coin. And what makes it extraordinary is not just the beautiful design, but the shocking fact that one version of this coin has reached an estimated value of $12 million. Yes, $12 million for a single quarter. A piece of pocket change that could change your life forever. Now, before you start digging through your loose change, let me explain step by step why this coin is so valuable, why collectors are desperate to own it, and how numismatics, the science and art of coin collecting, has turned an ordinary coin into a legend. First, we need to talk about the origin of this coin. In 1999, the United States Mint launched one of the most successful programs in its history, the 50 State Quarters program. Each year, a set of states would have their own special quarter designs, and these quarters would become some of the most collected coins in American history. Connecticut was one of the very first states to be honored in 1999, and its quarter featured the famous charter oak, a majestic tree that symbolized American independence and freedom. Now, millions of these Connecticut quarters were minted, and they circulated widely across the country. But here is where the story takes a twist. Among the millions of ordinary quarters, a handful of extraordinary coins emerged. Coins with perfect condition, rare minting qualities, and in some cases unique errors that made them priceless. One in particular, graded at the highest levels by professional grading companies, is said to be worth $12 million. Now you might ask, what makes this specific Connecticut quarter worth so much? The answer is found in three things: rarity, condition, and grading. While billions of state quarters were produced, not all coins are equal in value. Condition plays a major role in numismatics, and this is where collectors use professional grading services like PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Company. These companies use the Sheldon Coin Grading Scale, which runs from Poor 1 all the way to a flawless Mint State 70, a 1999 Connecticut State quarter. An average circulated condition is usually worth only 25 cents. But if you hold one in Mint State with grades of MS67, MS68, or higher, the value begins to rise dramatically. Now imagine owning a coin graded at the top of the scale, flawless, brilliant, and without the slightest imperfection. That is where the $1 million mark is crossed, and the $12 million legend was born. But grading is not the only factor. Collectors look for special characteristics, such as strong strikes, crisp details, and original mint luster. When the coin has eye appeal and virtually no contact marks, it becomes highly desirable. Provenance also plays a role, meaning if the coin was part of a famous collection or sold in a high-profile auction, its prestige and therefore its value increases. This is why a single Connecticut quarter could be the centerpiece of a collection commanding millions, while others are worth only pocket change. Let's talk about the technical details of this coin. The 1999 Connecticut State Quarter was struck in copper nickel clad with a pure copper core. It has a standard weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.75 millimeters. These measurements are critical for authenticity. If your coin differs significantly, it may be counterfeit or possibly an error. Coin error. Coins such as off-center strikes, double strikes, or clipped planchets can themselves carry extraordinary values, sometimes even more than perfectly struck coins. Collectors love unique anomalies and error. Connecticut quarters have been known to sell for thousands of dollars at major auctions. Now here's a cliffhanger before I reveal how you can sell a coin like this. You need to understand one very important rule. Never clean your coin. Cleaning or polishing a coin destroys its surface, and grading companies will mark it as damaged, instantly killing its value. A coin that might have been worth thousands could drop to only a few cents just because it was cleaned. So if you think you have a rare Connecticut quarter handle, carefully store it in protective flips or holders and send it directly to PCGS or NGC for grading. Only after grading can you know its true worth, and only with certification will serious collectors or auction houses consider paying big money. So now the burning question: where do you sell a $12 million Connecticut quarter? The truth is, you cannot just walk into a pawn shop or list it casually online. Serious coins of this magnitude are sold in professional venues. Your best options are world-renowned auction houses, like Heritage Auctions, Stack's, Bowers Galleries, or Great Collections. These auction houses bring wealthy collectors and investors from around the world, all competing for treasures like this. The bidding wars at these auctions can push the price far beyond the initial estimate, and that is how a coin like this can reach $12 million. Additionally, high-end coin shows across the United States host auctions where coins of extreme rarity are sold to elite buyers. Now let us step back for a moment and think about the story behind this coin. Why do people pay millions for something as small as a quarter? Because coins are more than money. They are history. The 1999 Connecticut State Quarter represents the charter oak, a symbol of resilience and freedom during colonial America. It reminds us of the roots of liberty and the strength of the American spirit. Collectors are not just buying metal. They are buying a story, a connection to history, and a symbol of prestige. Owning the finest known Connecticut quarter is like owning a piece of America itself, and that is why the passion is so intense. Another aspect that makes this coin fascinating is the psychology of scarcity. When there is only one or a handful of coins graded at the highest levels, wealthy collectors will stop at nothing to own it. They see it as a trophy, a crown jewel for their collection. And with more people entering the world of numismatics, competition drives values higher and higher. In fact, state quarters have brought millions of new collectors into the hobby. Many started by collecting from circulation, and later became serious numismatists, investing thousands or even millions into rare coins. So here is your challenge right now. Check your pocket. Change your old coin jars and your inherited collections from parents or grandparents. You might be sitting on a Connecticut quarter that looks ordinary to you, but could be worth a fortune. Look for coins with sharp details. No scratches. Bright luster and minimal signs of wear. If you find one that seems special, it is worth the cost of professional grading, because the difference between an ungraded coin and a certified coin could mean the difference between 25 cents and $12 million. Another suspenseful fact to keep in mind is that not all Connecticut quarters were struck perfectly. Some have fascinating varieties and errors, such as doubled dies where the design elements appear doubled, or off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. These varieties are loved by error collectors and can sell for thousands even without being in mint state condition. The rarest and most perfect ones, however, sit at the very top, commanding millions. Now, if you are still wondering how a coin like this can be worth more than luxury cars and homes, the answer is simple. Supply and demand. The supply of flawless high-grade Connecticut quarters is almost non-existent, while the demand from passionate collectors with deep pockets is very real. When rarity and demand collide, the result is astronomical prices. Let's not forget that numismatics is a discipline of details. Coin collectors speak in a language of luster strike fields, planches, and devices when experts say a coin has full strike or brilliant uncirculated luster. They are describing characteristics that can transform value in an instant, and when PCGS or NGC assigns a grade like MS68 or MS69, it is like a golden certificate of authenticity that drives buyers into bidding wars. This is why serious collectors never underestimate the power of professional grading. So now as we near the conclusion, imagine this scenario. You find a pristine Connecticut State quarter. You send it to PCGS. It comes back as Mint State 69 or even a dream grade of 70. You consign it to Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers, and collectors from around the world compete in a heated auction. The hammer falls at $12 million and your life changes. Forever. All because of a coin most people spend without a second thought. That is the thrill and the magic of coin collecting. Now it is time for you to take action. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mystery of the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter and its shocking $12 million value, then smash that like button, comment below. If you have ever found a Connecticut quarter in your change, and most importantly, subscribe to Coin Value Guide, because every week we uncover hidden treasures, coins that could be sitting in your pocket right now waiting to be discovered by someone curious enough to look. Subscribing ensures you never miss the chance to learn about the next multi-million-dollar coin, and sharing this video with your friends and fellow collectors spreads the knowledge so more people can join the hunt. So remember the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter. Dollar coin is not just money, it is a piece of history, a symbol of American freedom, and for one lucky collector, a treasure worth $12 million. Fortune favors the curious, so check your coins, handle them with care, and never underestimate the value of what seems ordinary. This is Coin Value Guide, your trusted source for uncovering the hidden wealth inside the coins of America. Stay curious, stay passionate, and remember, every coin has a story, but only a rare few can change your life forever. I will see you in the next episode of Coin Value Guide.